As a planner, the one thing that really inspires me about working on social equity is just the staying power of the issue. This is an issue that extends at least 54 years, if you go as far back as when Paul Davidoff started writing on the topic. We're at a time where this issue has come full circle. Clearly, planners played a role in articulating and giving voice to the unspoken about issues of advocacy planning and equity planning. And what we've seen over the span of the past 20 years is the fact that grassroots groups and advocates have taken this issue and taken ownership of it. What I think is really different is the availability of technology. We have the ability to spread that message out and make it more accessible to laypersons. And I think that is very important as we consider the scale of messaging and who's being reached and how they are more effectively connecting. We have the ability to actually show people what the result will be as opposed to just only talking about it in a conceptual manner. Now, as planners, we have an opportunity to help inform the conversation so that we can get better outcomes on the ground. Social equity and readiness means being deliberate and intentional about preparing themselves in order to address social equity, to ensure that they actually develop the proper skills and proficiencies in order to work effectively in order to advance this particular issue. We are in an era where planning has been affected by a number of what I want to call game-changing events. Planning isn't static. It's constantly evolving or being affected by issues that haven't always been at the forefront in terms of how we think about planning within communities. For example, when you consider the impact of Hurricane Katrina, within the past 20 years, planners weren't always thinking about issues of climate change and community resiliency. Post-Katrina, that is a very important issue that is part of how we think about improving communities and how we think about the preparedness of the places that we are stewards of. As planners, we are also thought leaders, so we have a responsibility to understand and to anticipate as well as to advise decision makers about issues that otherwise could become blind spots. And I think we are in a moment where with this conversation of equity and planning, we are reaching another game-changing moment, where as planners, we have to play a role in either being part of the solution or else we're going to get overwhelmed by the problem. The Social Equity Task Force is a team of 17 planners. It was established by the American Planning Association with a charge statement. And the charge to those planners is that they wanted that group to think critically about how planners are struggling with addressing social equity and inclusive growth, as well as to think critically about what are the tools or resources planners may need in order to achieve outcomes that will help to advance social equity.